news. We're gonna start it off with our big story from tonight. One of the big stories from tonight. Kai Cenat, YouTuber. They keep calling him a YouTuber, but he's a Twitch streamer primarily. Kai Cenat is charged with inciting a riot by the NYPD. I watched a lot of this unfold live today while I was working. It was a pretty wild situation. So YouTuber Kai Cenat is charged with inciting a riot by the NYPD for PS5 giveaway, which erupted in violence at the Union Square, as 65 rioters arrested amid chaos. I just want to point out right now, I watched this live today, okay? This violence this is blown out of proportion. This violence that they talk about was not that bad. There was it's a lot of teenagers. Everybody was kind of having fun, getting a little rowdy with each other. There was a couple fights, but that was really the full extent of it. And then, the violence that they're talking about is when the police showed up, they started throwing water bottles at them, which, good, sure. Sounds great to me. But let's read what where are we at? Daily Mail? Let's read what Daily Mail had to say about it. At least 12 people have been injured. See, that's not even that many. There were like 8,000 people there, by the way. There's like 8,000 people there. And 12 people have been injured and 65 people arrested, including Kai. Okay. YouTube and Twitch personality Kai Cenat is in police custody after a riot broke out in New York City's Union Square during an unlicensed scheduled giveaway of PlayStation 5s. The NYPD arrested 65 people, 30 of whom were juveniles, during the Friday afternoon chaos in Manhattan. Police have said that the influencer will be charged with multiple criminal offenses, including at least 2 counts of inciting a riot and unlawful assembly. Yeah, because it's black teens. White people riot over sports ball down entire city blocks. Yeah, and then they don't get arrested. Of course, the way that they're reporting it is very clearly racist. It's all very racist. Very minimal injuries. The injuries themselves, as far as I have seen, have been basically nothing. Nobody like severely wounded, and then they sent out hundreds of cops and then just started arresting people. It's fucking stupid. Shocking photos and videos show thousands of people gathered, with some fighting and others throwing fire extinguishers at each other in downtown Manhattan. At least 12 people have been injured, police told DailyMail.com. Multiple NYPD officers were on the scene trying to disperse the crowd as of 5 p.m. The NYPD was warned of mass transit disruptions and traffic delays. They estimated about 2,000 people showed up for the giveaway, and Mayor Eric Adams condemned the violence, warning his own son to stay clear. This is so stupid. Cenat, who is one of the most popular streamers on Twitch and has 5.5 million followers on Instagram, had announced a giveaway on the platform with fellow streamer Phantom, I don't know who that is, scheduled for 4 p.m. Here's pictures of Kai Cenat being arrested. God, I'm just so zoomed in. I can't. The pictures don't get any smaller for some reason. I'm sorry. Okay. I mean, look, they're kids. It's a bunch of kids that came down to see their favorite Twitch streamer. Is there any more to the article? Shit. Shortly before the riot erupted, Cenat, 21, posted an image saying, "On the way." The city's official notification system has said to avoid the area and trains are not stopping at the busy Union Street station. Several people have been arrested. The initial estimates clocking about 4. Yeah, this is old. So there's a couple of videos of this, so let's take a look. Here's the first one posted by Austinox on Twitter, or Dexterdonox is what his name is right now, which is stupid, but... Is there no sound to this? So yeah, they had a helicopter out there. This is what it looked like. It doesn't even, I mean, there's a lot of people there, but it doesn't look, they're not burning the place down, you know what I mean? They're just excited and they want to get a PS5. It's teenagers on summer vacation trying to win a PS5, and they sent the cops out there to beat the shit out of them. It's stupid. Look at these hogs, dude. It's an event. This happens. Yeah, and to be fair, Kai Cenat did not get like a permit for this. He didn't get a venue for this. He just kind of announced it and showed up, which when you're as big as Kai is, you can't really do that. But I don't think his intention was never to cause something like this. His intention was to show up and give away a bunch of PS5s and PCs to his fans, which is great. I get he probably just didn't realize that something like this would happen. Let's see another video. Yeah, exactly. 2023. It's pretty pathetic.
Started opening up the fire extinguisher. That fire extinguisher, we actually saw that over here by that construction site. Somebody had gotten a fire extinguisher, probably there for safety reasons, and they just started opening up the fire extinguisher and just setting it off. Like I said before, this doesn't seem to be targeted violence. It's not like they're trying to hurt each other.
It's not violence. He's just spraying the fire extinguisher because it's funny and it's fun. Of course he's doing that. He's a teenager. What the hell? He's hanging out with his friends and spraying a fire extinguisher, okay? How many cartoons have we watched where the kids at school grab the fire extinguisher and spray it around? It's so stupid. Like, this is untargeted violence. What are you talking about?
Or hurt anybody.
No, I agree.
They're just throwing things all around there, almost like blowing off steam. Whether they're frustrated.
This is a group of kids dancing and having fun,
or just in their way having a good time. It's not a violent situation. It's just a lot of steam being blown off. Basically, is the best way I can describe it.
Now here is. I guess be there. Is this the invitation by this person, the YouTube sensation, and that's who everybody was going there to see earlier today. We're not clear what happened, actually, if he actually showed up. And again, you are looking the video.
How do they not know if he actually showed up or not? He's a live streamer. He was live during this. That's so funny. They're like, I'm not sure if he actually showed up or not. Yeah, he was there because he was there to give out a bunch of PS5s. It's so silly. Yeah, I couldn't find any information on it, whether or not he was there, and he was broadcasting during this. It's so stupid. It can't just be teens having fun. It has to be angry people letting off steam. Yeah, it's so dumb. It's a bunch of teenagers. It's the middle of the summer. They came to win a PS5, and this is thousands of people who are all fans of the same live streamer having fun. Yeah, there's a little bit of a destructive element to it, but it's not. No one's in danger. The biggest danger is somebody getting like trampled or something by a crowd, but that happens when you start to like try and like scare them off. You know what I mean?
Before, Dan, and there we see the fire extinguisher at the 14th Street subway station. Outside of that, on top of the roof of that subway station. And again, on the left side. Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
I was going to say, they were climbing on anything they can get their hands on. There's a statue down here at the south side of the park. They were climbing, I think that's a George Washington statue down there. They were climbing on that. And even right now, as we're looking at the live video, over here on Union Square East, you can see they're now climbing on the cars. Several vehicles are trapped in this surge of people. And if you look close enough, you can see the white car there. You have people on the roof there, now just sitting on the cars. So they're just basically overtaking anything they can possibly get their hands on.
Dan, also, it's important to say, as you're talking about people on cars, we've just been told people who work in that area around Union Square Park have been told, and who live there too, to stay inside, to not come out at this point as police tried to get control of this. And PlayStations, we're told, is what Kai Cenat, the YouTube
God, these reporters are such boomers. I heard the PlayStation was what caused all the ruckus from the famous YouTuber Kai Cenat. It's like, dude, how do you not know anything about this? This is so silly. It's all online. Did they do no research for this? It's so weird.
Sensation was promising to give away, again, we don't know the series of events, if he was actually there. Did anybody get anything, or is this the reaction to him not being there? We're going to work on that and find that.
What? Is that what they're framing it as? He didn't show up, and so everybody started rioting? No, he was there, dude. He walked through the crowd multiple times.
Out for you.
He live streamed part of it. Kai briefly went live on Instagram from the inside of a cop car on the scene, asking his fans to go home. Let's check this out. I did see this live.
Oh my gosh. Yo, look. Bro, what the fuck? Bro, this...
Yeah, that's where it ended.
I gotta go home. Oh my god.
That fire extinguisher, we actually saw that.
I will show you a video of probably the most dangerous part of this entire ordeal. This is probably the most dangerous thing that happened. This car was backing out from the crowds and people were climbing on it. Once it got to open road, it just kind of took off with all these kids on the sides of the car, and then they started falling off of it. They were reporting this as if this was Kai's car and he was speeding away, letting all these kids fall off the car. That's not the case. As we just saw in the Instagram live video, he was in the back of a cop car because he was arrested. This is somebody else's car. I'm gonna watch that one more time. Hold on. Yeah, they're trying to get off the car because they don't want to go wherever this car is going, but the car is going too fast for them to be able to get off safely. So that was one of the more dangerous parts of the ordeal. I think I have a video here. Let's see if I have a video here of this. I'm gonna grab a video really quick of some coverage from this. Okay, here we go. This is from 3 hours ago. We'll take a look at this. Let's see how they report this. Oh my god.
Just really quick, Chief Madry, Chief of Department.
The NYPD, by the way, is a monstrous organization, and I don't take anything that they say seriously. It's all you can't believe anything that they say. So you have to take it all with a pound of salt, not just a grain of salt.
Standing here with me is Chief Kip, Chief of Transit. Earlier today at about 1:30 p.m., the NYPD became aware of a crowd forming in Union Square. It was quickly determined that an influencer was posting on social media about showing up to Union Square and was encouraging all of his followers to come to the park. There was some posts also about giving away some gaming systems. At approximately 3 p.m., the post went viral, and thousands of people began to arrive.
Listening to boomers talk about this stuff is so funny. It's like everything is viral. Gaming systems. YouTubers. It's so funny. At about 3 p.m., the post went viral. Okay. What does that mean? People saw it?
Union Square. Soon the park and the surrounding streets were overrun with people. They were obstructing both vehicular and pedestrian traffic. The NYPD responded by calling a mobilization in response to the large crowd. As the crowd grew, so did our mobilization. The crowd was swarmed when the influencer finally arrived at the park. Individuals in the park began to commit acts of violence towards the police and the public.
When he's talking about acts of violence against the police and the public, he's talking about the water bottles that they threw. It went online. It was posted to the forum. It's so funny.
There was a construction site within the Union Square Park, and people broke into the park and they began to throw articles that belonged to the construction site: paint cans, bottles, rocks. We had people walking around with shovels, axes, and other tools from the construction trade.
This is silly. This is silly. Yeah, the kids were running around with shovels and axes. They were trying to murder people. We just watched it, dude. They were throwing traffic cones. That's what they were throwing. Is that what you're worried about? Is a traffic cone? No. Is the traffic cone in the room with us right now, officer?
And additionally, individuals were also lighting fireworks, and they were throwing them towards the police. They were throwing them towards each other. The influencer, we were able to eventually get him out of the park and remove him for safety reasons. Our officers exercised
for safety
great restraint
reasons,
despite the aggression that they were met with.
Yeah, they were. Oh, the valiant NYPD. They're so brave in saving Kai Cenat. They don't give a shit about his safety. They went in and got him because they wanted to arrest him. That's it. He didn't need. He has a whole security team. We saved Kai Cenat. Thank God for us.
And the acts of violence they were met with. Ultimately, myself and our leadership team, working in tandem with our department attorneys, did declare this gathering an unlawful assembly.
Do I keep saying the LAPD? Sorry, NYPD. Both horrible, so just complete opposite sides of the country. Yeah, this is in New York. I don't know what I'm talking about.
The NYPD offered multiple, and I do mean multiple, opportunities for the crowd to leave. We tried to give them a means of egress for them to exit the park and exit the streets. After numerous warnings and after being assailed, hit with rocks and bottles and other debris, we started to make arrests to clear out the park. The total number of arrests is still being tallied at this point, and we're still doing evaluations for some of our members. We did have members that sustained some injuries out here.
No, you didn't. Don't lie. This is they do this every time that there is like a gathering like this. They're like, there's so many of us were hurt out on the streets. They were throwing debris. We're still calculating the injuries. Bro, none of you guys got injured. You guys are fine. They threw water bottles at you. They were throwing stones. What are you talking? Okay, what are you talking about? You guys had riot gear on. You're such a baby.
At this time, we successfully dispersed the park, but we still have crowds mulling around Manhattan, and we have officers following them, preventing them from destroying property, looting, and other things.
We're gonna follow them all the way back to their house.
Things like that. And we'll continue to be out here, and we'll continue to disperse this crowd until they're all gone. We're using our drone technology to help us monitor the situation. Of course, our aviation.
The NYPD has drone technology. That's so stupid, dude. But if the budget for the NYPD, by the way, is $29 million a day. If you guys didn't know. They have drone technology.
Unit is up there as well.
They have drone technology so they can follow teenage fans of Kai Cenat to their house. That's what he's saying right now.
Still being met with some resistance after numerous warnings, and we're still making some additional arrests. This mobilization is ongoing, and as I said before, we will be here until this crowd disperses. At this point, I'll take any questions.
We're going to start off with Josh Einiger, ABC7. Thank you, Chief.
Josh.
We we've heard reports of injured officers. A woman told me she saw a cop getting jumped and beaten. Your shirt, we have video of you being attacked. Your shirt shows. Can you talk about injuries to members of the service and to your own experience with being out?
Absolutely, Josh. And I believe the woman's account is possibly right, even though I don't know exactly what she's speaking about. Our officers were attacked. We were in there. We were crushed. We were pushed. I had officers on the floor. As you see, I'm a little embarrassed because I'm very dirty right here, but I was in the middle of the crowd. I was hit with multiple objects as well. I think I have a couple of injuries, but I'll figure that out once I have time to think about it.
But in terms of any officers...
Did he just say that he thinks that he has a couple of injuries, but he doesn't? He has to have time to think about it first? Is that what he just said? God, these guys are so fucking numbskulled.
I think I have...
Yeah, I think I've possibly got a couple injuries too, but I've got to think about it first. What are you talking about? Are you hurt or not? Oh, God, you're such a baby boy.
I think I have a couple of injuries, but I'll figure that out once I have time to think about it.
That's so stupid, man. Oh, my God. Diaper boy. He made poopy.
Were any officers treated for injuries that you know of?
We had one or two officers removed, and we had officers out here. I had officers who got hit and were hurt.
The lights are on, but no one is home.
And helped us control this.
We're gonna go Associated Press.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, sir.
I'm wondering if there is any kind of action that might be taken or could be taken against the influencer.
Absolutely. We're in contact with the influencer.
Yeah, the guy asked if there's going to be any action taken against the influencer, which is Kai Cenat.
I have our legal team here. I'm going to have a discussion with our Commissioner Caban in a little bit, and then we'll make a decision there.
Well, I'm wondering, though, if there's anything specific that you could be charging him with?
Well, we'll discuss with our legal department about inciting a riot and other charges.
We're going to go over to Matt.
That's so silly.
How many of them?
They're charging him with multiple accounts of inciting a riot, and I forget what the other ones were because I closed the page. But I mean, it's so silly. They're treating him as if this was a intentional. This was an intentional thing. He went out there to give away PlayStations, okay? And as far as I know, he's never done something like this before. So he probably just didn't think that this would happen. I don't think that he went out into this situation going, yeah, there's gonna be 8,000 people and they're gonna start throwing traffic cones at the cops. There's no way.
What was the extent of the injuries? And was he actually giving away PlayStations, or was that just a claim?
That I'm not sure in terms of.
I don't know if you heard that because it's hard to hear the reporters, but that reporter said, so was he actually giving away PlayStations, or was that just a claim? That guy wants a PlayStation so bad. He's like, so did anybody get a PlayStation, or are there still some up for grabs?
The PlayStation. I personally observed young people walking out with their heads bleeding from their heads, bleeding from on their faces. I've seen I personally observed young people having panic attacks, anxiety attacks, asthma attacks. There was multiple, people were suffering after.
Yeah, because the cops are beating the shit out of them. What the hell is this guy talking about? He's like, yeah, I personally watched young people get the shit beat out of them by me. And then they walked around with bloody heads. It's like, dude, it's so silly. He's like, I don't care if there were PS5s or not. We beat the shit out of them.
Out here, it was a lot of people. It was uncontrolled. It took us a while to get it under control, and a lot of young people got hurt.
Was that in confrontations with the police, or was that in the riot?
No, most of it was within the park. The young people were in the park throwing objects at each other. They were dancing. They were doing a whole lot of things, but they were hurting each other as they were doing.
God forbid they were dancing. You know what? Now that he said that, I'm totally on board with this. Yeah, you're right. The NYPD was right.
That I don't have an answer for.
Matt, we're going to move on. Mark Morales, CNN.
Mark.
What's the estimate as to how many people were here, and where is this YouTuber streaming at? What precinct is he in?
We do have him. I don't know exactly which precinct he's in. We have him. In terms of people, there was thousands of people out here. It wasn't hundreds of people. There was thousands, and mostly young people out here.
All right, Dean Moses, AM New York.
This isn't the first time something like this has happened after a giveaway. You guys can get a bit to try and prevent this for the future?
We're going to definitely work on this. This is something we will have an after-action review in terms of how we responded, how we're monitoring social media, and how we can prevent this in the future. We have encountered things like this before, but it never to this level of dangerousness where young people would not listen to our commands. They were fighting each other, they were hurting each other, and they were turning our attacks on us. We had to defend ourselves. And we had
They were turning our attacks on us. We were trying to attack the children. They retaliated. Bro, how about, okay, NYPD, try not to beat the shit out of kids, impossible level challenge.
or make arrests.
Alfredo Costa, Telemundo.
Approximately, how many people were arrested today?
Quite a few. I don't have an exact answer. We loaded up a city bus. The bus, we had young people attacking the bus, trying to pull people off the bus. We had to send resources there to protect the bus. It was a very dangerous situation.
Anthony DiLorenzo, Pix 11.
Chief, the question is, how does something like this happen? Is there no monitoring at all or anything on your radar that this massive influence was coming? I know that you're supposed to have a permit. I've heard he doesn't have a permit, but was this at all on your radar, and how did you let it get bigger than the permit?
Well, this speaks to the power of social media and the danger of social media. We do monitor social media. When I go back later on this evening,
it speaks to the power of Facebook. Kai Cenat is a Facebook star, and he posted a viral picture.
I will have an after action to determine exactly what our steps were. We can't allow this to happen again in the future.
All right, we're going to take one more question. Joe Marino, New York Post.
Chief, just to be clear, this wasn't pre-planned with the city. There was no coordination between this event producer and anyone in the department or the city. This was a totally spontaneous event that just sort of jumped off and grew and accelerated very quickly.
Yes, this was not pre-planned with the police department. This was something that was spontaneous. And as I just said in answering the last question, the power of social media, the danger of social media. Listen, we're not against young people having a good time. We're not against young people gathering. But it can't be to this level where it's dangerous. A lot of people got hurt today.
All right, thank you everyone for your time and attention.
12.
Thank you, folks.
There were reported people that got injured today. 12. Out of like 8,000 people. Let's just imagine for a moment how many of those people who were injured today were injured because the police were beating the shit out of them. Let's just imagine that for a moment. Just makes you think. We beat the shit out of 12 people and sent them to hospital. That would have never happened if these young people didn't come out to have fun.
Thank you. I got his name. Thank you, everyone.
All right, that was a live, raw, and unfiltered news conference there in New York City, as we did see folks with the NYPD giving an update saying that several officers were injured after those hundreds upon hundreds of people did show up there in Union Square Park. We had that video that just showed people everywhere climbing on top of buildings and also holding onto vehicles. You also heard that an unknown amount of arrests were made by the NYPD on various charges there related to the incident. And they did say there was a bus full of those folks who had been arrested, and some other people who were there in the crowd actually jumped onto the bus and held on to it to avoid allowing it to move. So again, this all does remain under investigation. It is not clear just yet when there will be another news conference, but once we do get that, we'll bring it to you here on Live Now from Fox.
So